Hey, what's up, everybody? I put a couple videos up discuss or showing some gameplay. A few people asked me about builds, so I figured I'd make a real quick kind of build video here. So as you can see, I'm power level 150. My champion is 109. My actual gear that I'm wearing currently, you have the lightweight buff claws, keeping my precision and my resilience kind of high because I personally prefer the dagger build. But As you can see, I have the rampant strike. Gives me 123% increased critical attack damage while I'm overcharged. That comes in handy quite a bit. Next one I have here is my intensity and precision is up as well because once again that precision I want up for my ranged attack. On here it has ranged attacks with devastating daggers creates a sonic damage. That thing is ridiculous OP for me. Um, the first couple, of course, do the debuff, but then as it sits, it sends out this like sonic blast or whatever that damages nearby targets. This one, I'm aware that it's not broken anymore, but I actually got a really good roll on this one, so I'm keeping it. My pounce guard on here is it's reduced as the reaction severity of enemy attacks and gain a negative 25% damage reduction while I'm pounced. So, in other words, while I'm pounced on something, I don't get kind of kicked off as easy. And then the kimono beads extends the duration by 6 seconds. I use that mostly as a passive heal for myself and my team. Unless I'm doing solo, then sometimes I'll do the attack one. And then, of course, the last one there is my damage is reduced by 100% when I'm critically injured. Same thing. So it's like a get out of jail free card if I get instantly hit by something. Next one here is I really like the 20% increased damage and defense while Bass Chosen is active. So Bass Chosen is the super ability, I guess, and that thing just does it's so OP for me. So when I launch that, not only does it do initial attack damage, but then as I'm following it up with my own melees and whatnot, I get more. I get 20% attack damage, 20% increased damage, and then I also have it to where it lasts longer by 7.9 seconds. So it's just basically another almost 8 seconds of increased damage. And then finally, my artifacts. I've got these ones. I care mostly about the stats, like the valor, the proficiency, and the might. Um, I like the fact that it's going to give me almost a 5% critical attack chance because I do use my sprint and dodge attack quite a bit. And then lastly, the same thing with this one. I wanted it for the valor, the resilience, and the precision. But I also like the heroic assault chart or the heroic assault ability by 8.5%. The lethal cosmic surge comes in handy as well. And then finally, I have the kimono band. The thing does just a pretty significant amount of damage. Plus, I like the fact that the ones that it brings into the fight kind of distract them from me. And then finally, so if you're looking here, my melee is 1144, defense 1575, range is 2109, and then my heroic is 1787. It's kind of like a little tank, man. If you die with this build, that's just because you weren't paying attention. It's not because you're going to get one shot by things. For the skills, real quick, these are all the basic ones. Specialties, I have this one for my Kimono Blast. I have the recovery beads once again because if I like to make sure my teammates are getting healed as I'm playing with them. It's like a nice passive heal. Next one I have is the kimono beads. They target enemies 10 seconds longer or recovery for 10 more seconds. Once again, just so I have an extra 10 seconds of passive healing while I'm playing. This one is the No More Mercy. I have the one where you throw multiple ones. The reason why I chose this one is it's kind of a get out of jail free card, especially when you're doing the Omega level threat. Since I have multiple charges, I'm not really using it for damage. I'm using it when I'm trying to heal teammates or if I get stuck in a jam. Because you're invulnerable when you're in that pose, and you can hold that pose for a few seconds to kind of let an attack pass you over or to get your bearings again. And then on this one, I've chosen Your Father's Son, and that's every enemy hit by the spear gets 10% intrinsic meter. That's just when I do eventually throw it. I want my intrinsic ability to come back a little bit. There's probably a better one. I just haven't messed around with it too much because, to be honest with you, I don't need to. On this one, I have triggering the ultimate heroic will apply the Mark of the Beast debuff on all nearby enemies, increasing their damage taken from all sources by 10%, and reducing their attacks by 15. So once again, it's just a debuff. So I already had the gear piece that gives me 20% more damage. So this one gives me another 10. So that's 30% more damage I'm doing when that's active. Then on this one, I have when the ultimate heroic is active, kinetic burst from the percussive blast is supercharged, doing additional damage and making the heroic attack. So that's the percussive blast is when you double tap the R2 trigger. That one comes in handy as well. And I know that not only physically while you're fighting them, but also there's an absurd amount of challenges that require that damn thing. So it's easier to keep it going. The mastery, some of these are pretty basic. I like this one because I increased the critical chance, and you're going to see why here in a minute when I show you my champion points. Critical chance is always good. Next one is increase my damage attack with a pounce. That pounce is phenomenal. It's a great way to target specific enemies and take them out quickly. This one, of course, I want the heroic orb so I can get back my abilities faster. For this one, and increase the maximum amount of times the devastating dagger debuff can stack by 1. Once again, I use the dagger build, so I'm basically just debuffing it the whole time and following it up with more attacks. And then my sonic dagger just keeps doing damage over time. The stun damage from the kinetic daggers by 15%. I love this one because there's so many things out there with shields or whatever, especially some of the synthoids. It's nice to kind of hit them from afar and stun them. Then you can go up and do takedowns. For this one, increase the critical attack damage dealt by all daggers. So once again, I focus more on the dagger attack. So my critical attack damage is up by 10%. Then this one, build up a small amount of intrinsic energy on each successive melee attack. That intrinsic thing comes in handy. You want to keep the percussive blast going. You just keep getting your intrinsic abilities up. Next one, increase the amount of intrinsic ability gained when blocking or parrying. It's kind of a cheap thing to do, but it's quick. Anytime you find like a turret or something, you can run up and you just hold your intrinsic ability and it gains pretty much instantly. You become overcharged, and then you just double tap the R2 to get the percussive blast going. This one is increase the stun damage dealt from all light intrinsic attacks. Once again, I like to keep stunning them so I can just keep popping my takedowns over and over. These ones increase the damage of the kinetic burst from percussive blast. Once again, I keep getting overcharged so I can just basically spam the percussive blast. Increase the critical chance by 10% and the damage by another 10%. You're going to see why once again when I show you my champion points. And then you have finally defeating the enemy while overcharged buff is active has a 10% chance of dropping a heroic orb. As many heroic orbs as you can get, the better. And then my champion points, I originally made sure I spec'd into the critical damage and my critical chance. So my critical chance and my critical damage. Crit hits are such an important part of the game, and the more crits you're getting, the more damage you're doing while you're doing it, the better. So I definitely loaded those up. This one here, I rely a lot on my heroics, so I want to make sure my heroic damage is going up. And then over here, I make sure that the rate in which I get my heroics back is up. Each one of those is 2.5%. So as you can see, I've got it up 10% faster. And, I made sure my stun, because once again I like to stun them and do my takedowns. And then of course you have here the melee and the ranged. I'm not sure if they're still bugged or not, but just in case, it does go up by a few, and I've noticed a difference. Not a major difference, but I've noticed a difference nonetheless. And then just some basic health and defense over here. Once again, with the kinetic ability charge, this thing is OP. You really shouldn't die very much, but it's nice to have that extra boost. So anyways, now that's how you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. If you guys like this, put some comments up or some likes, and I'll do some other ones. I have some pretty OP builds for my Thor, my Hulk, and things of that nature. So, alright, see you guys.